Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So here we are on episode 17. We have entitled this episode Alien Easter Eggs. I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to make a pitch to my guests to please introduce themselves. I'm going to pass this way first, so take a moment.
My name is Anthony Cook. I play drums or something like that.
Who? You got to name the band.
Oh,
Wait.
Come on, man.
Yeah. The Loser.
Deluser.
Deluser. I always fuck up the name for some reason. Delusions of Grandeur. Deluser.
Yes.
Anthony Cook, and we'll pass on to...
What's happening? I'm Hunter. I'm the guitarist and one half of the vocals for Deluser. Happy to be here.
Good. I'm glad to have you, Hunter. We've been friends now for about a year. Solid year. I've seen you guys perform a couple of times. So I'm going to pass on to our next member of the band.
Hi, my name's Dals. I'm the cheerleader for Deluser.
Yeah, God knows you have no talent.
I play bass, and I do the other half of vocals, and it's a good time.
No, you guys are a lot of fun. I really have a blast every time that I've seen you guys live, and we're going to take a deep dive on the band, and we're going to take a deep dive on your history, and we're also going to take a deep dive on some aliens, right? So I wanted to make sure I wore the proper attire for this episode, for this Alien episode. So I wanted to give homage to the Predator franchise. Nick, let's cue that Predator sound. One more time. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger is coming back in Badlands, coming back to the franchise, playing Dutch, a role that he 1987. Now I wanted to say my green is for Carl Weathers, the actor that played Dylan in the 87 film, one of my favorite actors, also part of the Rocky franchise. And I wanted you guys to know the story is completely not true, but I also auditioned to be the lead in Predator. And do you want to know what the producers told me? Can you believe I didn't get the fucking part?
Should have brought you on, man.
Yeah, I'm one ugly motherfucker. I love that franchise, love the film, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, the new Predator when it comes out. So, Nick, let's go ahead and let's pull up our first still. And I want you guys, the three of you guys, to talk a little bit about the history of the band, how you guys first formed, and let's talk a little bit about the genre of music that you play. I'm going to start with you, Anthony.
Well, we are a sludge band, and we don't really have any crazy stories. It's not like we were literally just three dudes who were one day met mutually while Dallas was in another band, and we were just like, all right, let's start jamming. And then one of Dallas's buddies reached out and was like, y'all want to play a show? And so we went down to Richmond, Virginia, and played a set with no songs. All free jammed, all improv, and that's it. That's the start of the band. I mean, the guys probably have, different ways of it, but in the short end of it, it started out as, let's just make some noise, see where we can go with this, and somehow it turned into a band.
Okay. Let's pull up the next still that we've done. We did the Deluser in black. Okay, this picture. I thought this was a great picture too. Tell us a little bit about the band, Hunter. Tell us a little bit about the picture itself, how people can follow you too. I want people to know you guys are great live. I'll talk a little bit about the band too, but Hunter, please.
So you can find us pretty much anywhere on Instagram, Facebook mainly. We have music out on Spotify, on Apple Music, on iTunes if you're old enough to use that, surprisingly. Even YouTube Music even. The picture itself, when everything artistic I make in the band. Everything that's,
Good. All right.
picture-wise, our album covers, our cover art. I'm kind of the...
Graphic designer.
yeah, that's the term.
Yeah.
But everything I make, I run past these guys.
Yeah,
'cause,
It's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those pictures came from that same first show because by the time that started, we had only jammed twice. We've only met up 2 times. And then his buddy Travis from Scum City Entertainment, shout out Travis, we love you. And he reached out and was like, hey, so I hear you have, I really liked your sound. Y'all want to play a set? I'm like, sure.
Just a
Why not?
festival, too.
Dude, we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Tony said, 0 songs for 45 minutes of straight hammering it out in the pit, out of the pit. Kicking ass, taking names.
Absolutely. Dallas, you play bass, right? You play bass in the band. Let's talk about how long have you been a musician? Tell me how the first you started actually playing music. And have you played in bands before? Tell me a little bit about your musical history, please.
I've been in a couple bands. I pretty much picked up guitar whenever I was like 13 or 14. My dad showed me power chords, and I learned from YouTube. He really wanted me to be a blues musician, but of course, whenever I was a teenager, I was really into Black Flag and Minor Threat, and I discovered sludge metal like Electric Wizard, Weed Eater, Bongzilla, Sleep. That stuff just overtook everything. Oh, and the Melvins too. Melvins are huge and my inspiration. And I mean, I never really tried to become the best I could. I got good enough to start playing some I Hate God and Melvins riffs, and I'm just all right, cool, I'm satisfied. But yeah, Delusion we started back in what was it?
It was about June, July.
Yeah.
Because like Tony said, it was just started off as a hey, let's just fuck around and find out. Let's just start jamming, because it originally was never supposed to become a band.
Right.
Yeah.
Initially it was just a jam session, and then after that first Scum City Slam set we played, it was we don't sound half bad. We sound chaotic. We're able to do what the hell we want, and even in the music that we're now writing, we have a couple of new songs that we're coming out with. We there's no strict role. There are songs where where Dallas will be on drums. There are songs where I'll be on drums. So we have a trend, but it's not super concrete.
I also think that you'll have an evolution, right? We talk.
Yeah.
It's called a collaboration. You guys work together. You advance. You come up with the sound. And I think that you guys have a unique opportunity, and no matter what, you all grow as musicians.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
We, I mean, back to the whole, this was never planned. I mean, you've seen how many shows we've played. Shout out real quick. The Scum City Slam's now going on tour. So we're going to be playing 2 spots. We're going to be playing Lynchburg.
Cool.
And we're going to be playing DC at the Simple Bar. So be a lookout for those. But none of this was planned, so we just started playing a bunch of shows, and free jamming wasn't really working, so we just had to write a bunch of songs, and now we can kind of take a sit back. We know each other's habits a little bit better. We can collaborate a little bit easier. The chemistry's easier. We're definitely getting quite a roster of songs that, and after we get bored easy.
Right.
A lot of people are like, "Nah, man, we got to get this song perfect." We're like, let's write something new.
Chemistry and originality, how far can that go? I don't know. Ask Metallica, right? Those guys have been the core. There's only been the bass is the only thing that's ever changed. It's the core. But yeah, Nick, let's go ahead and bring up the image of Brain Rot. And you guys mentioned your music. We're going to take a listen to this song in a moment. Let's talk about recording this song, what you guys were trying to do with it, and then we're going to play a minute or 2 of it. I'll go to Hunter, and then we'll go to Dow's, and then to Anthony, and then we'll take a listen to the song. How's that?
Awesome. Brain Rot was our first song that we really wrote. It was something that we all kind of thought to ourselves. We're like, we know we're a sludge band, but we're not as tied down to a certain genre or a certain sound.
Mm-hmm.
So for some songs you might have a more thrashier vibe. For some songs you might have a For some songs we might have a more doom vibe, a sludge vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It might even get slammy at times. So, but Brain Rot was the core child of. We all like punk.
Right.
Let's just make something that people can beat the hell out of each other with.
Right.
And we had one of Dallas's buddies, Jake, I believe.
Yeah.
We had one of his buddies come down and he was like, yeah, I would love to record with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And we recorded Brain Rot in Hanging Room in about 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we got those done, we got those processed, and we released them. So we were just really excited to get something out there to really put us on the map.
Your thoughts on the song itself, Dallas?
Brain Rot's a good one, man. It's punky, it's upbeat, it's a great opener. Like, gets people all wild up, like, captures the audience's attention. It's a good one. Of course, it ends, like, with a fucking slam riff at the end, and it's just, it's great, man. It's great. And I always fuck up the vocals still.
Okay. Anything you want to say on the song, Anthony?
It was just a spur of a moment song. I like it because I just get to beat the shit out of the fucking drums, man. I never play at the same time twice again. So, however, if you've seen us live, I've never played that breakdown the same. A certain key points stay the same, but it's just it just keeps evolving. It's a recorded song, but there's just things, because I'm very new to the drums, that I'm just like keep changing, and that's what I love about it, because no one notices.
Yeah.
no one notices. No one cares.
Let's play some of the song, Nick. How long is it?
2 minutes and 20 seconds.
I'll play it out.
Take
'Absolutely love it. That was a blast, guys. Really cool.
Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
It has a real
you.
old school flavor to it, you know. Hey, I'll share this before we move on. Is I got to meet Henry Rollins a couple of times.
No
Yeah, I
way.
did, man. Talked to him. I was at a show that him and Ian McKay was at, where he did
Nice.
spoken word, and Henry Rollins' mother was there. And I bought a book, and I had Henry autograph it. The mother autographed it. because I was an artist. I'm becoming an artist. I gave it to my grandmother for her birthday, but I don't think she really got it. You know, like just support the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like you want your family to support this crazy thing that you're into. And I just thought it was so cool that fucking Henry Mullins' mom was there. You know what I'm saying? And it was neat. It was a spoken word thing. And I've always dug that the most. I like the Rollins band too. And I'm a big Black Flag fan. And my favorite Black Flag was always Family Man. I loved that. You know, it was the first time I'd ever heard like spoken word. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I like Black Flag. I like Fugazi too. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next band photo. This is still number 5. And like I was sharing with you guys earlier today, this is my all-time favorite show that I've got to be at that you guys did. This was at Sorry Souls Motorcycle Club in Falling Waters, West Virginia. You guys had how many bands? You can go ahead and bring that down, Nick. Let's talk about that night, the bands that you guys played with, and we'll talk a little bit about the bands you guys have been playing with on tour. And then we're going to give our first shout-outs of a few.
That show, we played with Rundown. It was us. There was another one, wasn't there?
Spiral Grave.
Spiral Grave, but was it just the 3 of us?
No, I think there was one more.
I think there was one more. For the life of me, whenever you play so many shows,
yeah.
it's
And
hard to
that
keep
one-
track.
That one was a little bit ago. I can't,
Yeah.
It was cold. It was winter months. I can't remember exactly when, but I thought that was a great show. I thought it was a really good venue, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And you guys went on, you called it a tour. You went on tour recently.
Yeah.
Where were those shows and how did those go?
That was in
how'd
February.
those go?
That was in February, early February. We started in Richmond. We played this nice spot called Manditos. Sold out show.
Cool.
Absolutely amazing. It was a 4-band bill. We were on the road with another band, kind of I don't know if you want to say headlining, however you want to go about that term.
Right.
Called Two to a Room, which, I mean, dude, you basically just take violence and punk riffs from the 80s and you trap it in a bottle, right?
And then
you put them in, to top it all off, they travel around in this old van. But dude, just Two to a Room, awesome.
Absolutely.
We're going to be playing with a lot of these bands again. Rundown, we're going to be playing with them. What is that, May?
I believe that is May 3rd.
May 3rd, Simple Bar, DC. We're going to be playing with them again. Rundown, we played with them at Falling Waters. Tudor Room, we're going to be playing with them May
2nd.
May 2nd, and that's going to be in Lynchburg, Virginia at the Super Rad Arcade.
Yep.
Scum City Slam. If you're in the area, come out 100%. We're going to be playing 2 of those. I'm going to be filling in for a band called Trunk. They're from Philadelphia. They're a sludge metal band. I'm learning 6 of their songs.
Cool.
And the last stop of that tour is in Richmond.
Gallery 5.
Yeah. And anyways, so come out for that. I mean, we're all going to be there. At least, come out and support this. This is our next few shows. Our next local show is the Appalachian Noise Fest there at Bad Habits.
Yep.
Thursday. That's going to be awesome. GMS, Scotchmouth, I mean, us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if punk and sludge and noise is your thing, that's the day to be there.
May
cool.
15th.
And it's all like younger bands in this area, and we're all kind of going for this punk or just straight beat down sound. And so I'm really excited for that.
That's cool. Let's pull up our first our first grab. Well, I don't even know our first promotion. We got a couple of promotional things that we wanted to hit. I wanted to invite everyone out to the Sorry Souls open house. It is Saturday, March 29th. They're located on Williamsport Pike in Falling Waters, West Virginia. I've taken a real liking to hanging out there. It's very comfortable. They're great guys. You don't have to. My favorite question was, do you still ride? Nope, I haven't ridden a motorcycle since the fucking 80s. Nope, but I got some good stories. But I know Nick, he loves to ride. So Nick, I want you to consider coming out. Bring Christina, meet a few of the people out there. It's a really neat group. And we're very much hoping to have a few of those guys on the show at some point. And let's go ahead and hit our next graphic. This is for our friend Jay. Hunter, can you read that? Can you see that enough?
Yep.
All right, you read it out. Each one of you guys are going to get to promote one of the flyers.
So Sunday, May 25th, we got Point Blank with Horrorwood Ending, The Slice Girls, and Over Our Eyes, with the Underground and Mezzos.
That show's actually in Cumberland, Maryland. Both Nick and I are big fans and friends of the Slice Girls. We've been fortunate enough to record them, and they're just wonderful. They do a lot for the Cumberland community and the whole regional music scene. They host a great open mic, and they've also been on the show. Our highest performing episode is with the Slice Girls. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next graphic. And Dow's, you nailed this one.
All right, Friday, April 25th. We got El Radness, Heroes Unsung, Red Dye 9, Harlot Rip, Junk Punk, and that's going to be at Tilty Mip Flippers. And doors are at 7, show is at 8, all ages, and only $5.
There you go. Now, Anthony, you said you could give a complete and total shout out, all you guys, shout out to all these guys at Tilty's. I want them to know that I want them on the show and to share the show. Who all's out at Tilty's?
So, I mean, you've got putting shows out there, the SPK obviously being Jay. But I mean, you got Derek.
Derek is great.
I think his last name's Ames. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
that's it.
I'm not sure what Decatur's name is, but those two guys are great.
Great.
They, what they're doing there at that place is great.
Yep. I was there last night. I saw Brandon Wright. Right Light had a great show. Breach the Silence. I went to Jay's show Friday night that had our longtime friend Joe Ham.
Ryan Dweller was on that one, right?
And Johnny Lethal. I want Johnny Lethal at some point to come on the show. All right, let's take a look at our next image. And this one's yours. Go ahead and read it out there as dramatically as you can there, Anthony.
Yeah. Okay, well, Saturday, May 24th, you're going to have Point Blank, Wayward Brigade, Heroes Unsung and FYA. I want to say right now, man, Heroes Unsung, FYA, absolutely love those guys.
Yeah.
They don't really appreciate the last time Heroes Unsung was there, and I kind of was stage diving. They've kind of put a little dock there now. So, I kind of got moshing banned at Tilty's. I will take full blame for that. Those guys are great there, though. I still love them, but, yeah. I would come out to that show, but I might be impaled to, do things, so but if you're in the area, definitely go out to it. Doors are at 7, shows at 8, all ages, $10. Point Blank's playing 2 back-to-back shows. They're playing this, and then they're going out to Cumberland and playing the Mezzos, so definitely support those guys because they're coming down from New York.
That's
so
fantastic.
that's local music, but definitely go out and support, you know what I mean?
I think Troy, I really like Troy Wayward of Wayward Brigade. I want to get him on the show, and James Whipple from Wayward Brigade too. Is that it for all our awesome. So that brings us to the end of the musical part, and this gets us into our alien Easter eggs. So I made sure I got all these Easter props that everyone can see, including the ears, the necklaces, the Easter eggs. So there's this really strange story, and if you've been following my show, which most people don't, you know that I'm big into the alien disclosure from the early episodes, from episode 2 that we did with Michael Maverick and Dakota Guyver. We've been following the disclosure movement. Early, I think this is about New Year's when this story came out, there was a new UFO whistleblower story that became part of the disclosure movement. So I thought we would take an opportunity to do a little bit of a deep dive. Nick, let's go ahead and take a look at the very first video that we have queued up. This is about a 3-minute clip.
UFO sightings the military can't explain. All right, UFO sightings the military can't explain. Congressional hearings.
A glitch in the
Pentagon
matrix.
Whistleblowers. Armadas of strange aircraft flying over, of all places, New Jersey. What does it all mean? Well, since last year's groundbreaking interview with whistleblower David Grush, News Nation's been out front on this story, and we've got another major exclusive. A new whistleblower is coming forward saying he's not just saying he's heard about a secret government program to retrieve UFO crash remains. He says he's worked on this program. He claims to have video to prove it and credentialed colleagues who back him up, and he has the attention of at least one senior lawmaker. News Nation's Ross Coulthard has been working on this story for more than a year. He conducted the interview for a special report airing right here this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And News Nation correspondent Joe Khalil is here with a first look. Joe, these are pretty stunning claims.
Yeah, they are, Elizabeth. The man you saw in the video, Jake Barber, he's an Air Force veteran, and he is coming forward with some shocking claims. The first person to go public saying that he actually participated directly in a secret military program that he believes was to retrieve UAP or alien craft. Now, Barber says he was contracted as a helicopter pilot. He retrieved all kinds of crashed craft. Some of it, he says, top secret and explainable. Others, he says, however, he believes were non-human origin. It's not just him. We've got 3 other military veterans backing up his story on the record and on camera to News Nation. So take a listen quickly to just part of Ross Coulthard's conversation with Barber.
So tell me about the moment when you realized that you were involved in a retrieval of non-human technology, alien tech.
So it became very clear the first time our communication process and procedure was modified. And then just visually looking at the object on the ground, you could tell that it was extraordinary and anomalous. It was not human.
How close did you get?
Well, I was a helicopter pilot, and I operate with 150 foot to 200 foot long line. So I got within 150 feet of this object.
What did you see?
I saw an egg, a white egg.
Was there any visible propulsion system on it?
No, not what we would know. There's no engine, there was no thermal signature. I was operating at night when I finally came in to pick it up, so I'm working under night vision goggles at the time. And it was quite clear. I flipped them up, flipped them down, and looked at it a couple of different ways.
How did you know that that egg-shaped object was non-human in origin?
Well, visually, after seeing all kinds of things in my past, it was clearly something that was ridiculously looking. It's inconsistent with anything I'd ever seen before. I can also tell you that the reaction by my team, we all knew we were dealing with something extraordinary.
And at no stage were you ever subsequently told that the craft was of non-human origin?
I will tell you that during this process over the last couple of years, it's been confirmed to me by ranking members of the UAP task force that what we were working with that night was in fact NHI, and it was not a unique experience.
Bring it down, yeah. That's the core of the story that came out. Now, there's a lot of extended videos, and believe it or not, this whole thing became a little controversial because a major figure in the disclosure movement, a guy named Dr. Stephen Greer, didn't feel like he got enough credit in it. I know News Station released an extended piece that's almost 4 hours long. Have you guys, when you watched this video, what was your first take on it?
I don't know, man.
I got you, Hunter.
It kind of called me back to when like they mentioned New Jersey with all the drones.
The drones, yeah. We talked about drones with
I think it was Jay had a bad habits in the back.
Well, we talk at length about drones with Gunnar Heath of Throne Room. I saw you guys at the Throne Room show. So,
but it kind of called back to where there were different theories of that these things were actually coming from our oceans.
Yeah.
Instead of actually coming from, the stars.
Stars, yeah.
Which kind of begs the question of, like, what's really in our oceans? What's there that we don't know about, that we're seeing these things come out? And, of course, some of these videos are doctored and edited for views, but you're going to have that with these
Is it real or is it Memorex? What was your take on the whole thing, Dowse?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, there's been UFO sightings since the dawn of man. You can see ancient cave paintings of, like, literal crafts, like, with lights in the sky, like, hell, even Christopher Columbus documented seeing something rise out from the ocean one time.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are USOs, unidentified submersible objects, and honestly, like, it's very compelling. Like, there's we know more about our own moon than we do our own oceans, which is crazy. Well, I wouldn't say no, but like we've discovered more on the moon than we have our oceans, and there's so many different theories, whether they come from like stars from light years away, they come from our moon, or they come from deep in the oceans, or they're here on Earth. Like, there's just so much about them, and it's truly compelling, and it just really shocks me and kind of irks me that people just automatically throw out that there's no possibility of intelligent extraterrestrial life out there.
Yeah, I agree. Let's take a look at the actual video that was released. This is roughly a minute clip. I thought it was... well, let's play it.
Independently obtained, previously unseen. NewsNation has independently obtained previously unseen video obtained from a secret UAP craft retrieval program. This extraordinary footage clearly shows an egg-shaped object dangling in a sling below the belly of a helicopter.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line. We're told the craft is about 20 feet long. The egg suspended in a cradle. And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo into land. Let's freeze frame here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP retrieval. Look at how perfectly smooth the craft is. No markings at all, and no visible means of propulsion or way to see inside. Watch how it rolls, almost graceful as it hits the ground, despite being wrapped in the ropes and canvas from the cradle as it's dropped for pickup. The UAP's final destination still unknown.
Nick, roll right into our next video, because this is what I thought.
Greenland.
Let's do the Mork and Mindy. This is from 1981. Watch this.
Oh, shit.
I loved this show as a kid. I have seen other conspiracy theorists that claim this show is soft disclosure, so let's see.
Nanu, nanu. Shazbats.
I can only say if the aliens are from Mork and Mindy, everyone's gonna commit suicide. They'll take over the world because you'll just be. It was so bad, you know what I'm saying? But I loved Mork and Minnie when I was a kid, but I kept thinking if the aliens are anything like Mork, we're screwed. But your guys' first impression of seeing the egg, and are you guys, any of you guys familiar with Robin Williams and Mork and Mindy? Have you ever seen that as a kid? No?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, but
course,
the Mork and Mindy thing,
no.
nah. I took you back in time, huh?
It does.
Yeah, I mean, seeing that video for me, man, like, I'm not denying the possibility of, you know, like what Dallas is saying. I agree. You know what I mean? Basically, word for word what he was mentioning. But that video for me, like, that just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I see that, and I'm like, that is so obviously a piece of string. And, like, somebody just, like, I
that
don't know.
one made me skeptical, too.
I know our government. I know what our military's capabilities are, and I can promise everyone here, they are 20 years advanced whatever we think technology is popping for us. I know they have way better cameras, footage, and ways of doing that. So that video for me, it's like I see it, I hear it, I'm not denying it, but I'm just like, that's not it.
Yeah. Hunter, your thoughts on the video? Mork and Mindy, had you ever seen Mork and Mindy or anything?
Not familiar with Mork.
Do you know
and
who
Mindy.
Robin Williams is, the comedian?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I first saw
cool.
Robin Williams with like Peter Pan when I was a kid. So
Good. That was his first real major role.
Yeah.
Made him a star.
God rest his soul, but
Yeah. Fascinating guy.
the Mork and Mindy, I could see why some people would consider it a hidden disclosure. But
Yeah. Soft disclosure.
Yeah,
they call it soft disclosure.
My bad. It's not enough to really convince, but it is interesting with, like with what Tony said, it's the fact that it's popping up again. It could be just, a reuse of that prop with a string, but at the exact same time, it's why that specifically?
Why? Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. Dallas, your thoughts on it?
Well, it could be real, like it could be fake, like it could easily have been faked, but I just know that we've been involved with capturing alien technology for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that's a reference to the Predator. That's like all of the stuff the Predator has is supposedly we recovered at Roswell in 1947. We reverse engineer Kevlar, night vision, thermal, all of these things. Yeah,
and everything Bob Lazar was a whistleblower about.
Yes.
Yeah, big time on that. I do gotta say though, the mainstream news kind of gives UFOs kind of a bad reputation because they don't really seem to display some of the most convincing videos. Like one of my most favorite videos, I forget whether it was like in Egypt or Turkey, but this person had a video camcorder and like zoomed in on a UFO craft from like miles away, and if you zoom in closely, you can literally see alien life forms in the craft, and they literally look like stereotypical green alien men, and it was really compelling. That's one of my most favorite, but no, we've been involved with capturing alien technology for a long time, and hell, there's even conspiracies back. Germany in the 1940s was involved in alien technology as well.
Yeah. Nick, let's play the two clips that we queued up. This is also, if we're talking about cinema as soft disclosure or getting us ready, there's also one major Easter egg in cinema that's been around, I think, 1979. Let's look at this, my favorite alien egg. Play it. Right into the next clip. Let's see where this face hugger goes. Again, alien Easter eggs. My mom rode on the back of a motorcycle from Rancid, West Virginia to Georgetown to see that movie. I've always been a big fan of the Alien franchise. I saw the last one. I haven't seen Romulus, but I saw the Covenant. I thought that one was a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed that movie as well.
Yeah. So those were my two thoughts when the whole egg story came out. One of the things I wanted to close with was, Dallas, you brought up your interest in alien abduction, and gray alien specifically. I'm old enough that one of the earliest stories that ever caught my attention about aliens were the story of Betty and Barney Hill from 1961. Nick, let's go ahead and bring up that graphic. I remember as a kid, watching. There was a movie about it that told the story. They do hypnosis on them. The hypnosis recording sessions are really dramatic. It's really compelling stuff. But they were the first to describe missing time, the whole medical procedures, all the things that we associate with the typical alien abduction. Yeah. Let's take a look at our next clip. And this is the first image, the first image of what becomes the gray aliens. Now, Dowles, you said you wanted to share, you had a theory on the grays. So let's talk a little bit about the grays. And again, you guys' thoughts on, whether aliens exist or don't exist.
Yeah, so I'm always scrolling through Reddit, like, all throughout the day, and I learn all sorts of crazy things on there, and I follow multiple alien and UFO subreddits, and one theory I saw that was compelling that kind of makes sense a little bit to me is that the Greys, the race of aliens, the Greys specifically, might actually just be drones, like humanoid type drones for another race of aliens that they send to Earth. That there's also like sightings of mantis race aliens, and the mantis ones are possibly like I went down a rabbit hole about this. The mantises are the real ones, and the Greys are just drones that they use to dematerialize themselves along with the UFOs to travel millions of light years away or whatever to get to Earth, and they do all of the work to learn about us humans and like discover Earth and this and that, which I thought that was pretty damn compelling. That's all I can say right there about that.
No, Hunter.
It's, I believe, pretty much what Dallas mentioned about the Greys being more of a drone, or at least how I think about it, more of an exposure race to kind of, because you don't want to freak us out with like a multi-armed tentacled monster when you can just, send a humanoid down and just like get us familiar with this galactic federation that I honestly kind of buy into. Because we have seen evidence where they've been around as far back as even ancient Egypt with the pyramids of Giza. Because
new story coming out about that as we talk.
I'm interested. Yeah. I'll keep up on that, because I've read articles and research about where these pyramids had to be built in such quick timelines. It was after the pharaoh died, they had to have it built within a certain period of time. And to complete the thousands and thousands of those massive, heavy cubes in such perfect synchronicity, that there's also theories that they are part of a larger network within the Earth themselves, and they aren't just the actual pyramid structure, but more of similar to that giant structure that we have in DC.
Right.
But that's kind of what convinced me that there's some force that has been around working with humanity for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and they have established themselves. They have kind of, I wouldn't even be surprised if this might be a little controversial, but I wouldn't even be surprised if some religions were based around that.
Yeah.
Because, you have these mass, hyper-powerful creatures coming down to Earth. If you're an ancient human, you're going to look at them as a god.
Right.
If they're bringing in these giant ships.
Right.
And there was a painting, there was a painting, and I think it was of the skyline in Italy, and the artist had depicted.
Yep.
There was an artist who depicted a light show in the sky.
Yeah.
With several angels and demons.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, me too. Good. Anthony, your thoughts on alien life?
Dude, they're here.
Yeah.
Like I said, my father was in the military. He had access to a lot of very top secret things. He told me about going out to Nevada, taking the 737 with the red stripe. It leaves Las Vegas Airport, and it takes people straight to their commute. He told me about all that. I asked my father, I said, Dad, what's the fastest you ever been? He would not answer that question.
Right.
So, if anything, man, I know for sure, and I know that there's things that I can't hear. And maybe when he gets a little older, I'll try to give him a few drinks and be like, all right, come on, man, cough it out. What's going on? Cough it out. Come on.
We're going to play our last video. I thought it was really cool. Dallas, you said this film creeped you out as a kid. I loved it.
Oh, my God, yeah.
This is the trailer for the legendary alien abduction of Travis Walton. I think it's his name.
How does it think? What makes it move? Why does it breathe? Questions anyone would ask about a man if they'd never seen one before. So for 5 days, a man was borrowed. The story that Travis Walton and 5 other witnesses told was so unbelievable, so unimaginable, that it has become the most famous case of UFO abduction ever reported.
I love that film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I've seen it a couple of times since its original theatrical release. Let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. I want you guys, each one, to close something, how people can follow the band, anything you want to say on aliens, anything you want the public to know.
They're there.
Yeah.
They're amongst us. And, we're just going to keep playing sludge sleaze metal until something
What's
happens.
your next show?
What is that, May
2nd.
Yep, May 2nd, Lynchburg, Virginia. But for the locals, that will be May 24th.
15th.
May 15th at Bad Habits.
Cool.
They're here. They're amongst us, and I will be the first to get an alien STD. I swear to God. I
Oh
do
my
not
God.
care what it takes. I will be the first.
You and Captain Kirk.
None of you fuckers are getting in my way. But you can find us Delusion on Facebook, on Instagram. Thank God we don't have a Twitter, because God knows that's going down the hole. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube Music, any streaming platform. I would definitely like to give another massive shout out to Scum City Entertainment and Travis Poe. Firstly, to kind of give proper thanks for getting Delusion started without us really kicking the fuel canister over. I also want to give a shout out to a couple bands, Two to a Room, Come Shot Wound, love those fuckers, Banana Slammer, who we'll be playing with again. God, I can't wait.
Yeah, the Travis case, that abduction, I mean, that one's hella significant. Like, the dude was missing for like 5 days, and his logging crew were literally put on trial. They were about to be tried for murder of him because they couldn't find him. And, what court is going to believe, oh, he was abducted by aliens, but then, he turned up days later, and my God, it's bone chilling. And that trailer does not do that film justice. The whole, like, abduction scene, like, whenever he's on the spaceship, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I agree. It was a visually fascinating film, well done and well composed. It's been a blast having you guys on the show. I look forward to new music and to seeing you guys live. I always enjoy your shows. Nick, let's go ahead and bring us out.